Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum. Straight talk about you and your money. Now from the BizTalk studios, here is Gary Kaltbaum.
And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us again. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Friday. It is June 7th. It is 2024. And this is really serious talk on everything that affects you, especially when weird things are swirling around you, especially when there can very easily be wealth destruction if you are not smart and if you are not disciplined. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about. I think you do. Let me first introduce the rest of us. This is Investor's Edge. We cover everything without any agenda, any ulterior motive, any bias. We can't stand anybody in D.C. that continues to mortgage our future, especially the dude in the White House right now that takes away the championship belt, but that's for later. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we will post it at GaryK.com or our Twitter feed, which is now X. And you should follow us. And of course, you can email us. Just be nice. Our number one goal here. Let me give you an example of me. And this is not to pat on the back. It's just who I am. In the last few weeks, we have received phone calls from people. I'll use one. An 82-year-old man called me up, had, I believe, $6 or $7 million, and wanted to invest with me. And I said to him, why? Well, I see you on TV. You sound like and look like you know what you are doing. I trust you. And I said, but all you do is see me on TV. You don't know anything else. Oh, I have a good feel. Okay, so what have you been doing with your money? Well, I'm very careful. I've kept it in CDs. Good sir, here's what I want you to do. Keep it in your 5% CDs, make yourself $350,000 a year, and don't pay any attention to anything I have to say. That's what I want you to do. What? I said, no, really. And if you'd like, I can maybe find you some corporates paying 6 or 7. But then you're going to have to reach a little bit. So what you should do is wish me well, and I'm going to wish you well. Take care of yourself. And anytime you want to talk, just give me a call. That's who I am. My job is A, to protect, B, not A, and A1, and just do the right thing. And when we say protect, I am talking about everything I have been talking about with the nonsense that's going on with this GameStop stock, leading to today, which under no uncertain terms have we, in my opinion, we have found out that this guy who's been talked about as being some sort of Robin Hood is a comedic farce that is only going to destroy wealth again. I'm going to be careful about my verbiage. I am not going to call him a con artist. I am not going to call him a crook. I am not going to call him a joke, a con. I'm going to leave that for you guys to make the decision. But let me explain what has happened here. And first, let me disclaimer you once again. I have no idea what happens Monday or Tuesday. I don't know whether they're able to ramp this stock up to $100 on Monday of next week. I don't know if it's going to drop down to $10 on Monday or lower. I don't know the short run. I will not predict the short run. What we do know by history, sometimes we want to look at history. Actually, oftentimes, every time these stocks have gone to where they came from or where they should be. The last time this guy had a hold of it, it dropped 90%. GameStop. AMC, I don't know if he was involved with that. That was a 99%er. And amazingly, even though a 90 and 99% drop, people jumped all over it. They didn't give a crap what happened before. How am I going to make riches now? So what happened recently, out of nowhere, it started ramping again. It had one big ramp day, I guess about 4 weeks ago. I'll even give you the date. It was May 3rd. About 5 days later, it went from $18 up to $65. And on the day it went to $65, he started yapping the day before. He started putting out videos the day before, which has me not accusing him, but wondering, was there a plan? Get in and then release. I don't know, but not implausible. And all we said to you at the time, and by the way, it hit almost 65 that day, closed at 48. All we said to you that day is just be smart. We're not telling you to buy, sell short, or cover. And within days was down to $18. And even when it went to 18, we said to you, we don't know what it's going to do next. Maybe they can ramp it again. Maybe they won't. And then he starts releasing other things. And we've said to you, when we're thinking to ourselves, I think this guy may be talking his own book now, which basically means he owns a bunch of stock. He knows he influences, the influencer thing. And he knows the game. And then the stock ramped a couple of days ago, early in the week, hit 40 but closed at 27. Yesterday, he announces he's going to do a live stream today. That's after the stock was dropping again. And yesterday, the stock ramped and closed very quickly up to $46, $47. And in the aftermarket, hit $65 after hours. And all I'm thinking to myself, this guy's got good game. He knows he has a big following, a huge short position. He's got some control. Even with the SEC announcing under investigation, nobody cared. And then what happens? Last night, the stock was $64 in the after hours. By the way, to get there, somebody's got to buy it there. And then he does a live stream today, but before that, the bigger news that kicked him in the grapefruits. GameStop announces a big loss and even lower sales. But that was not the kick in the grapefruits. They announce a secondary, 25% secondary. Dilute the shares 25%. There's 300 million shares outstanding. They're doing 75 million. And guess what the stock did? Was unhappy. But that didn't matter. They opened at 37 in advance. Who knows what this man roaring kitty's going to say? They bounce it up early back to 47. And then the live stream. And may I state for the record, this man isn't Robin Hood. In fact, I don't think he has a clue. I think he got lucky. I think he was smart with a Big Short squeeze and was getting it going again. But I can tell you he sat there with his bandana and his sunglasses and a beer. And my next thought, up next on Investor's Edge.
Hi, I'm Gary Kaltbaum, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we'll carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you to where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call is 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. Investment advisory services offered through Kaltbaum Capital Management.
It's time to switch on the integrator units and get the brain cells working.
You're listening to
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Investor's Edge
The last bastion of quality programming.
with Gary Kaltbaum.
It doesn't get better than this.
By the way, I appeared on the Fox News Rundown podcast today with Lydia Hugh. Go check it out. It's on Spotify. So back to this guy. And I'm going to be careful with my words. He don't have a clue about markets. He got lucky. He got smart. He got influence. It's not unlike, I don't know if you know this, there are people that, I was out to dinner with my family at a nice restaurant in New York City, and we met a husband and wife that we didn't know they were famous. It turns out, you know what they're famous for? Going on Instagram, him calling her Pookie and talking about the clothes she was wearing. She talks about the clothes he's wearing, and they get invited to all these events, and they get paid a crap load of money because I think they have millions of followers, influencers. But in the case of this guy, he influences people that are risking their money and following him. If I tell you this was worse than a comedy act, and if I tell you the man was hiding, I am promising you, should I use these words? I wouldn't be surprised if he was making in his pants while he was sitting there doing this live stream because the stock was cratering from 39 down to 27, which means he gave back oodles of money, and I don't know what he's worth. He was showing that he's worth this big amount of money. Who knows? I don't care. The most unimpressive, doesn't have a clue, may have lost all the influence he had by doing a live stream to save his stock. If I tell you this could have been the greatest stand-up comedy act in history. Dressed like a bozo. I shouldn't even put down bozo. Sounded like a bozo. But of course did disclaimers now. So what he does, he influences you. And by the way, we believe in people and their own personal responsibility. But he knows he's got you influence because he sees it on his stream. 600, 700,000 people were on there. I think they're in hope and prayer mode. I saw one guy saying, we need to band together and buy the stock and squeeze the stock because I'm losing my ass. So this guy's on there, and all of a sudden he's saying these words. You shouldn't follow me. I'm just one person. And stocks go up and stocks go down. And I want to take my foot and stick it through my little computer here and hit him right in the teeth. Because leave no doubt, this was on purpose to attract people to buy into his stock that he bought in tons of. And now because the company kicked him in the teeth, I'm watching him and I'm seeing a man in pain while he was smiling. And I saw somebody who said, I was hoping to pay off my loans with this. Probably should call Biden for that. So I'm just letting you know. Less than meets the eye. You'd be following somebody that doesn't have a clue, did have control. Maybe he'll have control again, but you're delving into a company that just diluted their stock by 25%. By the way, this is on top of the 45 million shares they just did on a company where business is heading south, losing a ton of money. And as I have said to you time and time again, and it's turned out to be true every time, it does not make me a genius. It makes me a very good student of history. All these hunks of junk go back to where they came from ultimately. Now, if GameStop invents a cure for cancer tomorrow, maybe that'll change the playing field. Maybe if they have come out with a phone that beats the hell out of the iPhone, maybe that'll change the playing field. Maybe if they come out with a secret elixir that if you're bald and you put it on your head, your hair comes back. Maybe that changes GameStop. But if they do not come out with anything new, this is a stock that has been delving in the $10 to $12 range. And I don't even know if it's good there. Just be careful. We are not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover. We have absolutely no clue what happens Monday. But if this roaring kitty has lost the control because of a major dilution and crappy numbers from the company, well, this stock was $10 5 weeks ago. It closed at $28 today. Down from 47 and down from 65 in after hours. Ladies and gentlemen, my peeps, watch your arse. This is no Robin Hood. I'm not going to go further with what I think in order to not be sued. But this is no Robin Hood. I've been hearing some people talk about he's for the little guy. My arse. And we are dead serious about what we are saying to you. We're dead serious about it. I was watching the streaming today. And you should have seen some of the statements coming out for people on the stream. And I think there may have been 1 million on there. In real time, people's wallets were getting smoked, and they were in hope and prayer mode. I saw one that said, "Isn't there anything you can do?" To this guy, dressed up like an imbecile, and smiling, knowing that the people following him are seeing their wealth dissipate at the same time. I'd like to give this person a piece of my mind. It's not funny, any way, shape, or form. Hey, up next, we'll segue. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to
America is talking.
Investor's Edge.
He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's a Cinderella boy.
With Gary Kaltbaum.
Comes highly recommended. You're going to feel better if you talk to him.
By the way, do you hear my tone? I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Hopefully you're listening. Again, we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to tell you what we think. And I think you get our gist. Things sticking out today. And this one's of import. I don't know if you know this, but China's buying the living daylights out of gold. Month in and month out. Tons. So we walk into today, and in the news was China in May, for the first time in forever, didn't buy any gold. And just letting you know, gold dropped 3.57%, the GLD, and just smashed through the 50-day moving average. Next support is about $1 underneath here, but potentially we've got a top in place for now. Notice the two words, for now. Just letting you know. It also did not help that the dollar had a strong day today, because they came out with a jobs number today that was, at least what the government says, is better than expected. And the 10-year yield, which had been plunging for a few days, really popped up today. A big 1.5 sticks to 4.430. What that means is from 4.280 to 4.430. And the dollar will strengthen as yields strengthen. And let me state for the record on the job market. For months, whenever I talk about jobs, I say the same thing. It's in shape. It better stay in shape because of how much debt's in the system. I'm letting you know, right here, right now, I'm seeing some things in the job market I don't like. First off, 8.4 million people now have second jobs. These are people that don't think they are making ends meet. That's why you have a second job. That goes hand in hand with almost 300,000 part-time jobs in this report. The other issue, which is nauseating because why do we need them? Another 43,000 government jobs? Where the hell are those people going? What are they doing for us? Now, if they say police officers, I'm good. If they say firefighters, I'm good. If they say teachers, I'm good. Good teachers, good firefighters, good police officers, of course. But are they just building up their phalanx of nothingness? We'll see. Anyway, I'm just letting you know, those couple of things that I mentioned, very often late-stage job market issues. Now, they came out with a headline number. I don't believe it any time they send it because It's revised down every month. Then the government jobs, and of course the government spending that's inducing a bunch of things. We'll see. I hope that the job market stays in shape. I really do. That's what I want. And I hope good jobs stay in shape. If we lose the job market with the debt in the system from the consumer all the way up to this abominable government with unimaginable amounts of debt, I don't think it would take much. And just remember, this government is beyond the beyond of spending this year going into the election because they're scared crapless of losing the election, and every dime spent, even on the debt side in government, goes towards a little GDP. Hey, look at us. And if you don't believe me, just Google what the deficit and debt and spending numbers are from the man who's telling us, I've lowered the debt and the deficits. Yeah, sure. Right. Otherwise, not a lot of big movement in the market today. Dow down 87. S&P down 6. NASDAQ 39. NASDAQ 120. The transport's 48. But, advanced declines 10 to 29 on the New York and 11 to 29 on the NASDAQ. I've yet to do my scans, so I can't tell you yet. But those aren't good. We'll see. NVIDIA, often asked today. They're doing a 10-for-1 split. Just letting you know, if you own the stock, when you look into your account on Monday, if you own 100 shares at $1,209, you are going to walk in, and if nothing changes over the weekend, well, you will have 1,000 shares at $120.90 if nothing changes over the weekend. And there'll be 25 billion shares outstanding. Just as shares outstanding. That's bigger than a lot of S&P companies, which is just utterly amazing. And I must tell you, I was thrilled to see some people today say, sell your NVIDIA. Sell. Overvalued, overdone. I'm thinking to myself, stock's done nothing wrong so far. Maybe they'll be ultimately right, but I love when I have a strong stock and they're just out there just sell, which is cool. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I worry about big stock splits. 10-for-1, definitely. I must tell you, I think Apple did a 7 and a 4. Didn't hurt them. I think Amazon did a 10. That's near highs. Didn't Google do one also? We'll keep you informed. Another rough day. I told you about gold, copper, other commodities. Bearish phase now, kids. Bearish phase for the commodities that we were telling you were the strongest. Same for oils. We'll see how it goes. The crypto. Boy, Bitcoin was on the verge of breaking out of range in the last few days and looks like it's going to tuck its head in like a frightened turtle now. So maybe that's not going to happen for right now. We'll let you know. But otherwise, somewhat of a quiet day in the market. Not much more to tell you, even though I'll think of something. But again, the big story, please be careful. Be careful. And I don't know if there's going to be any of it, but if you're able to spend a few minutes watching this guy on his video, I don't know if it will be out there, and you own some GameStop because of him, I think the only words that would come out of your mouth were, what the hell am I doing? It was that much of a farce. Unfortunately. I was hoping to see some smart guy. It was a farce. Let's see what he'll try to come up with next. I gather he's going to try. He's got too much riding on it, if you ask me. In the news. Well, a little bit more of what we've been telling you for a while, as far as retail, as far as governments coddling the criminals and the like. Dollar General, because of theft, ditching self-checkouts. Now, it's not going to... So they'll get some more people. Actually, they'll be good. There's some more employees. But this is an outcome of what the heck is going on out there. I believe I've seen the same story in maybe Target. I'm pretty sure I saw it in Walmart. And every day, ladies and gentlemen, it behooves you. Just go read up what's going on in cities that refuse to do anything about criminals. Up next, got some more news. Some weird stuff today. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge.
You're listening to...
What are we waiting for?
Well, what are you waiting for?
1, 2, ready, go.
Action!
Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum.
So... by the way, I will be on Fox News tomorrow in the 10 a.m. hour with Neil Cavuto. Check that out. We believe when we talk about local, state, and federal government, we get asked every now and then, whoa, what does that have to do with the market? Well, we believe everything's kind of sort of intertwined, even if it doesn't really... a point. Let me read to you. And for all the peeps in Portland, God bless you all. Because I don't know who the hell's running your state and your cities. Well, you know what's going on in Portland. I think finally you got rid of that DA. Let me read this to you. An Oregon man raged at a police officer during a disagreement over an Oregon state law. This is a true state law in Oregon. It permits public nudity in front of children. Thomas Collins, a father from Bend, Oregon, filmed the heated confrontation after a naked stranger walked onto his property in front of his 2-year-old son and exposed himself. The man was not arrested. Guess why? Being bare naked in front of a kid is not a crime, even if it's on somebody else's property in Oregon, if it's not of a sexual nature. Now, last I looked, Oregon is one of just 50 states in this country. And they're trying to tell us if a man walked up in front of your child nude, that's not of sexual nature. What? Now, Gary, what the hell does that have to do with stock markets? What does that have to do with the economy? Well, these are the people that are running one of the 50 states, and many of these people that are running states end up in D.C., and that's how we end up with cockamamie federal laws. Oregon, is there anything you can do about this? Now, different cities and counties have different regulations, but they're actually giving out a definition of what it means to expose. Thank you, the people running Oregon, for telling us that meaning. Wow. In the news, well, we haven't done a lot lately on Israel and racism and anti-Semitism. If you have a chance, there is somebody who worked for The Hill. You ever hear of The Hill? Well, one of the hostages' family was trying to explain about rape, and this pundit from The Hill named Joy Gray rolled her eyes in disbelief that maybe these rapes aren't happening. And well, she was fired finally. And the amazing part, a bunch of videos are coming out of this same woman doing the same thing a bunch of times. And I'm thinking to myself, when does it get to the point where journalism are going to fire people that are racist? You know they'll fire anybody that's racist towards blacks and Hispanics. When are they going to fire the people towards Jews? It should be simple. As we tell you here, we're all equal. We should be treated equally, both ways. Anyway, you go look it up. It's disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting. And nauseating. And all that. Amazing to watch. In the news, Disney. Good to see. In case you don't know, we like Governor DeSantis here. We disagreed with a lot of the culture stuff. Not everything. We thought too far with Disney, too far with some of the other things, and he would disagree with us, and we say that respectfully because we think on the economic front he's done a very good job. And we think with the colleges and not letting all that crap happen, did an excellent job, and other things. You know what's good to see? You know, they had the big fight with Disney. Well, they came together in whatever way, shape, or form, and Disney is now going to invest $17 billion in Florida, Central Florida, and expand Disney over the next, I don't know how many years. Good to see. And I don't know if you know here, Universal's opening up a new theme park also, which means heading over towards that area is going to be a lot more traffic, but I guess that's a good thing. That's a good thing for the economy. And I don't know if you know this, but 75 million people visit Central Florida every year, adding $75 billion in economic impact. And I think 500,000 plus jobs, if not more these days. That's how important it is. And that's why I was always worried about DeSantis. What are you doing with Disney? If you want to fight with them, do it quietly, behind closed doors. Anyway, the good news is we care about outcome, and that's a good outcome to see. That be all in the news, ladies and gentlemen. But the big story is what this show is about. Protect your frickin' capital, especially when things are going nuts. And unfortunately, throughout the years, as of recent, because of ridiculous easy money policy, printing to $9 trillion, We ended up with these meme stocks and the SPACs and ridiculously priced IPOs, and a lot of wealth was destroyed if you weren't careful. We'll keep being the voice, but it's your money, you decide. You'll have a great weekend. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Peace out. Serenity Now. Fox News 10 a.m. hour tomorrow. The whole thing 10 a.m. to noon. And we'll be back on Monday. Thanks all. Good night.
This has been Investor's Edge with Gary Kaltbaum on BizTalk. To listen to past episodes or to get in contact with Gary, go to GaryK.com. That's GaryK.com.